So go up to Tennessee. They have like quarter comics.
We have quarter bins and methamphetamines. If you do some meth, you can look for comics for a long time.
Jesus Christ! Oh my God!
Since the beginning of all comic books, creators have been mistreated. As for better pay, only to be told,
No!
Then, something happened that brought all media together. The internet brings comic fans around the world into one comic community. We support the just pay and recognition of these comic creators' comic fam. Because comics are for everyone. It's 10 p.m. Eastern, live from the United States to Australia. This is the Not Near Mint Show. A weekly YouTube show about comic books.
Welcome to Not Near Mint, everybody. It is Wednesday, September the 22nd, 2021. This is Not Near Mint, episode 110. This is part 2 in our series of informational YouTube videos on Action Lab, on their lack of communication, their lack of pay, their lack of rights given to creators, and their contracts. Our goal is to inform Action Lab creators. Now, there is another way. Tonight, we do have Pennsylvania attorney Michael S. Katz. He will be here tonight, help pro bono those Action Lab creators out of their contracts. Now, people such as Martheus Wade, who will also be joining us tonight. We do take seriously the creators in the comic book industry and will continue our series of Action Lab videos into the future until this situation is rectified. Now, we do have a great show in store for you all tonight. Replay viewers, live viewers, because this is a live show. I'm coming to you live from Miami. Now, it's also New Comic Book Wednesday today, and we will be showing new books in our comic book therapy session immediately following our discussion on Action Lab. Now, if you have a story on Action Lab, please feel free to email us at notnearmint@gmail.com. Now, please, let's welcome our guests. Please welcome Martheus Wade and attorney Michael S. Katz.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good afternoon. Good evening. Gentlemen, I don't know where you are in the country right now. Michael, you're a Pennsylvania attorney.
You got it.
So you're able to help here tonight. Now, being that you're a Pennsylvania barred attorney, you're in a position to help creators and pro bono at that, meaning free to those people that might not know what that means out there in the audience. But what brought you to this story, and where are you now?
Yeah, I could talk forever, but I won't. I'll try and give you the 2-minute synopsis. I am a litigation attorney. My firm does a lot of class actions, mass torts. I've sued companies like Home Depot, Toyota, Lexus, drug companies, medical device manufacturers. In 2002, I started a publishing company after I handled a breach of contract case where I represented a publisher. And I learned a lot about publishing. And I've been a comic book fan since I was 7. I've been an avid reader for years. And I thought I'd get together with some people and start my own company. And I've been publishing fiction and nonfiction under Strider Nolan since 2002. Recently this year, I started dabbling in comic books. And I really started posting on Twitter in August just to get involved with the community. And that's when I found out about all these people complaining about Action Labs. And I guess I just, waded into it. My first thought is to help people. And, from time to time, when I can fit it in, I do pro bono work for people. And I thought this was something that would really come together because, I want to help, comic creators. I'm involved in the publishing business, and I'm an attorney in Pennsylvania. So how much luckier could you be that Action Lab is in the same state? I'm in central Pennsylvania, so Pittsburgh is just a few hours away from where I live.
So at what point did you first start hearing about Action Lab, and what brought you to this case?
It was about 2 weeks ago, maybe 2.5 by, at this point. And I just started reading about some people complaining about, what Action Lab is doing to them. And it kind of upset me as, again, as a lawyer, as a comics creator, comics fan, and publisher. And my first thought is, is there anything I can do to help people? And I started, communicating with people through Twitter, and then asking them to, email me. I would have them DM me so I could give them my, my work email address. And then I just started communicating with all these creators, and it just started becoming a landslide of people who had similar gripes against Action Lab. And I felt like I could do something to help.
Oh, that's great. Now, for when we talk about time frame, because we kind of know, we have right behind here with the Hall of Justice that justice favors the prompt. Mm-hmm. Now, Counselor, what is the time frame creators really have to contact you? Well,
it depends on whether Action Lab plays ball or not. I mean, I'm hoping that they've been paying attention. I'm more than happy if their board is looking at this broadcast right now, because what I'm going to do is reach out to them this week and provide a list. I mean, I've got over 30 creators, over 30 properties, who are interested in legal action against Action Lab. And the first step is to give them the chance to do the right thing. And if they don't, then it's going to be a lawsuit. And, I've been a lawyer for 26 years, and it's all I've ever done is litigation. Lawyers specialize just like doctors do. And trial attorney is a specialization, and it's all I've done since 1995. So the first step, like I said, is I'm going to approach Action Lab and see if they'll do the right thing. If they do, I'm probably not going to be able to help any more people after that. So if you are an Action Lab creator and want to get on board, reach out to me right away. There may be time between this week and a couple weeks from down the line to add you in there, to slip you in. But if this case can be resolved short of litigation, then that's going to be my cutoff. If the case does go to litigation, then anybody can join in. Anything is fair game. At this point, we're trying to rescue a lot of properties, free Crash and Troy and all that. But if need be, litigation would involve, going after monies that are due, unfair trade practices, really getting into the wrongdoing of the company and how it has financially affected these creators.
Well, now I kind of want to get Martheus's take here, and I do want to tell the people out there that are watching, if you do want to contact Mr. Katz about this, down here below is his contact information on Twitter to send him a DM. Now, Martheus, how did you get involved with Action Lab? I understand that you kind of knew about them from the start.
Yeah. I was there. I wasn't a part of Action Lab. I was more like on the outskirts. I self-published my comic book Jetta Tales of the Toshigawa a long time before Action Lab got started, or I met like some of the creators. So we all used to frequent a forum, and we used to talk comics on the forum on a particular podcast, and we used to be on there on guests on the podcast. So I knew one of the creators. I saw them get together. I saw them work on their separate properties, and then I saw them get together to form Action Lab. But I was still on the outsides. I wasn't on the inside of anything. Then I was approached. Actually, I was still friends with them, so I was like seeing the progress that they were making and things like that. So I actually showed one of my Shinobi Ninja Princess. I actually had a son, and I wanted to do something that was going to be more geared towards his age, and he would be able to read. So I retooled my Jetta Tales of the Toshigawa comic book into Shinobi Ninja Princess, and I was going to release it as a web comic because everything was, web was big and as it is now. So I was going to release it as a web comic, and I showed some stuff, to my friend, and he was like, "Oh, cool. This looks great, man. This looks polished. Looks completely different from the stuff that you did before and more in line with what we're actually doing. So let me take it back and show it to them." And I was like, "All right, that's cool." I wasn't thinking anything of it because, really, tell you the truth, I had been publishing for so long on my own. I was just kind of like, well, good if it works out, great. If it didn't, great. You know what I mean? I'm still going to do it. So they took it back, and then they were interested in it, and that's how I ended up with Shinobi Ninja Princess at Action Lab.
All right, and where exactly are you in your book now at Action Lab? Is it stalled on release? I mean, what's the grievance you have now?
Well, I mean, the last thing that we did was we released we did a Kickstarter for the hardcover compilation, because we had volumes 1 and 2. Volume 1 actually did really well. Like issue 1 came out, issue 1 did really well. Then there was a big drop off, of course, with issue 2, and after that, each issue dropped off. But I did notice that when we were doing the first volume, it was like the first volume was 6-issue miniseries, right? Every issue consecutively came out later and later and later. The first issue came out, I had a whole bunch of like signings that were due that I was going to be doing around, comic book stores around town and some other stores and stuff like that. And I had to cancel them all, reschedule them all, and it kind of messed up some stuff because the books came out late. At the time, I was told that it was a diamond snafu. So I was like, okay, well, whatever. But the second, third, fourth, fifth issue started being like, I didn't know when it was coming out. So it was hard for me to even promote it. Like I stopped promoting it after issue 3 because I didn't know when it was going to come out. All the issues ended up coming out. And then they did the trade. Trade sold well, but then they after that they dropped it. They dropped the book. They were like, well, we're not going to, it didn't sell enough, so we're not gonna do anything with it. And then I was like, okay, well, fine. That's messed up, but all right, whatever, right? And then right after that, I learned that it was like, seriously, maybe like the next week after, I got an email or a phone. Actually, I got a phone call saying that Scholastic had picked the first trade up. And then after that, they were interested in doing a second. after that, I was just kind of like, man, do I really want to do a second? But then I was thinking too, I was like, man, but I really like Scholastic, because Scholastic was the only time that I got paid. We only saw one check, and that came from Scholastic the whole time we've been in Action Lab. So I was like, man, if I'm gonna get paid, I need that Scholastic dollars, right?
Yeah.
I was
So
like,
at
okay.
this point, are you at the stage where they aren't releasing your rights back? Are you held up from that?
I hadn't asked yet. Right now, I'm in a stage where I asked after the Kickstarter went. We actually did most of the. Well, actually, we did. I did all the legwork. Me and my team, we did all the legwork for Kickstarter. Even though it was an Action Lab Kickstarter, we did everything. You know, promotion. We paid for advertising for it a little bit, stuff like that on social. We wrote our own press release. We gave it to them. They sent it out to a couple of people, and then they retweeted anything that we put out, or they re-upped anything that we put out on social. But that was about it. And then they went for a long time without contacting. We made the goal, and they went for a long time without contacting anyone that helped us get there. Fulfillment and stuff. So what ended up happening was that I started getting put on the hot end for that, because I was the first. I was the point of interest for a lot of people. They couldn't get in touch with anybody there, so they were contacting me, trying to figure out what was going on with their books and what was going on with the order. And I couldn't get in touch with anybody then, so I kept calling, emailing and stuff. I finally got in touch with the person over there, and they were saying that, well, they were still checking out printers. And I was just like, whoa, wait a minute. If we're still checking out printers, we got money, coming in. For one, we don't know how much these books are going to cost, and we just collected money from all these people. And then two, we got, we don't know how long it's going to cost, how long it's going to take for us to get those books back. We fulfilled this like 2-3 months ago. So we got it straight. They got a printer. I'm not exactly sure what the details were behind it, but they got a printer, and they print them. So as far as I was concerned, it got delivered and got done, as far as I knew. But it just left a sour taste. So I really didn't do anything after that. You know what I mean? It was just kind of like, I just kind of sat on the property. I kind of thought about it and stuff like that. And then, I came out with a Christmas issue, and it did really well. And I did it pretty much on my own. I just did a Christmas issue. And I actually sent it to Action Lab, because I was like, hey, I want to get some of these printed. Can you print some of these? Because they were doing a print deal. I didn't have a printer at the time. So I was like, can you print some of these for me? And they printed I think it was 50 copies or something. They sent them to me, and I put them in the comic book stores here in town and stuff. It did really well. And then I printed some stuff on my own, some books on my own. And I was just like, man, I really want to do this again. So that's when I started. After that, after I got the Christmas issue back, I started asking them, and this was about Christmas. Came out Christmas 2019. This was before the pandemic. So I was like, I need to talk to somebody, because I really want to be able to get my rights back. I don't want to publish with Action Lab anymore. You know what I mean? I don't know what the dollars are that I was supposed to be making. I don't know how much I was supposed to be getting or anything like that. I just want to be able to get my rights back. You guys can go on. And I even posed to them, hey, we can still work together as far as me buying books back from them, because I don't have my own stock of hardcovers. I really liked the hardcover issue. And I didn't hear anything back. And then all of a sudden I started getting emails saying that, people were gone. All the people that I was talking to, they were gone, and there was nobody to get in touch with. So then everything started snowballing downhill. It was like, hey, can you give me some feedback? What's going on? Pandemic hit. I heard they were closing down. And after that, I was just kind of like, all right, look, they closed down. I don't know what's going on. And I ended up at first getting a lawyer to contact them about, hey, can you give me, my rights back? I want my rights back. Really tell you the truth, you can't do the book without me anyway. Why just sit on it and just do nothing? You know what I'm saying? So they ended up, they contacted the lawyer and they said, well, if you buy back the stock, and they gave me like $25,000. I was like, man, I'm not paying $25,000, man. You know what I mean? I don't have that, and most of that stock too was like way overprinted, especially for the Kickstarter. The Kickstarter, it was a cap at, I forgot what the numbers were for that Kickstarter, but it was a number cap, and they went way over that. I could see being able to, maybe have some to be in previews and stuff like that. That's great, but printing over that, way over that, like they did, and still having that stock left over, like, I'm not going to be punished for that. I don't want to be punished for that. And then there's
another.
Martheus, I don't want to cut you off here, but just to ask Michael, after listening to all of that, now, Counselor, what have you observed, without divulging names, as far as Action Lab business practices go thus far? I mean, after listening to everything you've just heard from Martheus, what have you observed?
Yeah, he's not alone. I mean, I could go on for a while about the things that they have not done. Their business practices are pretty poor, and it's obvious that they're just run by some part-timers who don't have their hearts in the game, and are taking advantage of the creators. Originally, their contracts required that the books be in print, and then at some point they changed that, and their contracts less than clearly stated that your work could be released digitally only. And I think every creator that went to them expected to be put in print. A lot of creators were screwed in that they saw themselves released digitally, which they could have done themselves. A lot of creators didn't see any payments. A lot of creators did not see sales reports or spreadsheets. A lot of creators saw overprinting unnecessarily, printing multiple copies, which just ate into the bottom line and took money out of the creators' pockets, like Martheus. Some creators have been told that they have to buy back their stock and have not been given proof that there was stock. And some people, it appears, had books that stock did not even exist until recently, where it seems like a shell game where Action Lab is trying to make some money off the creators before they drop their properties. We also have tons of projects that were delayed, and delays were blamed on either Diamond or the printing companies, and there was more than one printing company that they utilized, and Action Lab was never at fault for doing anything.
Michael, not to cut you off, but can I ask you one real quick question?
Shoot.
Everything you're saying here sounds, we heard this story 2 weeks ago. I've got some friends that I've spoken to directly who've had very similar stories. And two things. One, you brought up Diamond there. Diamond, the same thing I've heard a lot. Diamond gets blamed for a lot of things. And I wonder how that's going to work, a year from now, if Diamond's still going to be with us, because it looks like they're hemorrhaging themselves. So it looks like that might go away. But one of the things that creators have said to me is that, number one, that they have to go back to Diamond to get an invoice, which I was unaware Diamond had anything to do with that, with the actual production. And number two, it seems like a lot of these instances and a lot of these problems come from, and if I'm speaking out of turn, please tell me. But they seem like they're coming from very sloppy contracts that, things aren't spelled out, which of course leaves room for interpretation, which, if you litigate, maybe you win. But does it look like it's designed that way, or is it just really sloppy? Am I way off base?
No. Let me briefly touch on the diamond issue. They've been great at communicating with those creators who have reached out to them recently. They've given the creators numbers, information about whether copies of their books actually exist and how many copies are in stock and how many copies have sold. As for the contracts, you're right; they are pretty sloppy. They're what's in the legal terminology called adhesion contracts, which are really unfair. They're unconscionable. And another thing people haven't heard to date is that Action Lab provided a handbook to every creator, or at least was supposed to provide a handbook to every creator about how Action Lab would handle their properties. And that handbook technically becomes part and parcel of the contractual relationship. And Action Lab just did not follow up with what they promised they would do in terms of things such as marketing and promotion. They went at least half a year without doing the bare minimum. If you look at their Twitter account, they went from August to December with no notes except for wishing everybody a happy New Year. Whereas in the handbook, they promised to do all these different steps. They promised to communicate with the press, communicate with the public, be an equal partner with the creator to help get their property out there. And they didn't do any of that except for maybe one or two properties. And it's just totally unfair the way that these creators were handled in terms of the original contract and the handbook and everything that transpired thereafter.
So it sounds like the handbook, correct me if I'm wrong, or again, please tell me if I'm off base here, but it sounds like what you're saying is the handbook in itself, while not part of the contract, as it's part of the deal, the things in there may have some level of binding agreement. Exactly.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's good to hear. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Sure. It's a duty of good faith and fair dealing. And it's, they were kind enough to lay out exactly what they were supposed to do to adhere to the duty of good faith and fair dealing. And they didn't do it. So it makes my job that much easier to prove.
That's good to hear. I thought that was the path you were leading us down there, and I just wanted to make sure.
Right.
I do have one other question, and it might be the most hard-hitting question of the night. And I apologize. I have to ask you, Michael. You said you live in central Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
I have yet to hear a yuns or yins out of you.
Well, I was born in Philly.
Oh, all right. Okay.
So I've only been here for 4 years, so I still say water and gas and hoagies, and I have to force myself not to.
Yeah, hoagies. Oh, man, I miss hoagies. So I appreciate that. They'll get you eventually with that yuns and yens. They get everybody, from what I understand. Martheus, if I could ask you one question that's unrelated, gentlemen, I very much appreciate you being very serious and discussing this very serious topic, and we do take it seriously. But I'm generally the one who screws everything up. Martheus, I just have to ask you. You had said earlier in the show, or perhaps pre-show, that you were the guy known for drawing the pretty ladies.
Yeah.
Yes. So I did look up Shinobi here real quick, And Mr. Worst, I just want to show.
You better share screen.
I just want to show. This is a gorgeous cover. I'm not sure. Did you do all the covers?
Not all the covers. Sometimes I did the covers, sometimes I did not. Actually, I worked with my wife. So if it's the hardcover cover, that one, yeah, my wife did that one. My wife actually did the cover on that one. She's really talented vector artist, and one of the things that I wanted to do with the book is I wanted to highlight a lot of her talent, because the other book that we had, she helped me out with inking and things like that, but she wasn't really comfortable with going and doing pinup art or something like that at that time. But since we started moving into this, she had done some stuff for Princeless as well. She did a couple of pinups for Princeless. And then after that, she was like, wow, man, I want to do this. So she started stepping into her own to do her own stuff. So I was like, man, I gave her, like, she did this cover. She also did the hard cover, and she did a number of pinups as well as helped me on the inside with art duties as far as like coloring and some ink work and stuff like that. So we're a household team. I mean, we did this. We've been in comics. We don't get paid a whole lot of money. We don't get paid anything from Action Lab, but we do this because we love it. You know what I mean?
So wait a minute. You're telling me you're not currently calling us from your yacht off the coast of Bermuda?
You might as well think this is a yacht. There's a lot of prize stuff back here in the background that you might be interested in. So I mean, look at that. Look at this action figure, Boba Fett. On this side,
that's pretty fine.
Got like
Grayskull.
That's a Grayskull. Yeah, excellent.
So,
excellent.
To me, this is my yacht. So it depends. It depends. One man's garbage is another man's treasure, I guess.
Absolutely.
My friend, you could have told me you were below deck in your yacht, and I would have believed you.
True. But you are known as the most gullible worst there is. I got one more here. I want to see if this is your art. I just wanted to give the viewers an opportunity just to take a quick peek and see yours. There we go.
No, that's my wife again.
Oh my God.
She does, man. I'm telling you, I let her do the covers, man. I was like, man, dude. Okay, I'm gonna show you. Here's one. I'll show you. This is actually.
Maybe we ought to bring her on.
Right?
Yeah. I tried to get her to come on, but she wouldn't. So.
Oh, that's great. No, that's beautiful. So if you like this cover, follow Martheus. If you like the other stuff, follow Mrs. Martheus. So Michael, I don't want to ask you. Obviously, there's we're very limited on what you can respond to and stuff. But I don't know if this is like one of those things where you never say good luck to an actor. But if you were a betting man, where do you feel on this one? What's your success rate here?
I mean, nothing's guaranteed, but I feel pretty good, or I wouldn't be pursuing this. If I thought I was wasting my time, I wouldn't be doing it.
Right.
But it's if it goes to litigation, it could settle any time. It could take a jury to decide. Yeah. But I feel pretty confident.
And one would hope that it wouldn't have to go so far as to a jury, because the way I watch things, at least down here in Miami, I'm watching court cases that are from 2012, 2016. Some are old, ancient.
Yeah.
But otherwise, good question, a little bit more specific. What exactly is the end game that perhaps creators can hope to expect for if and when they contact you?
Right. And, one of the people who were messaging at the bottom of the screen asked this earlier. They asked, are these contracts null and void? And the position is that, at least, from what I've seen so far, these cases do have null and void contracts. And Action Lab has been trying to, clean itself up recently, but you can't go back in time and make a voided contract valid again. So the first step is to try and just, like I said before, free these properties, get these creators the rights back, and come away, clearly and cleanly. If that doesn't work, then the end game is going after Action Lab monetarily.
Right, that's great. Now, what would you ask of creators to prepare for when they want to go ahead and reach out to you? I mean, do they need to get together papers, emails, anything to prepare for?
Yeah, I send everybody that contacts me a pretty brief questionnaire, maybe 10 questions. I ask them to send me a copy of the contract that they signed. I ask them to send me any spreadsheets, any balance sheets, any invoices they have, and especially any emails that would contain information, with purported explanations as to why things have been delayed, why comics have been delayed, why they haven't gone to print, why spreadsheets have been delayed, why payments have been delayed. That's the gist of what I need, at least at this point. If we go farther, then I'll need a lot more.
All right. And Mike, now as for Martheus, has this affected your willingness to really continue wanting to even be a comic book artist anymore?
Man, that's a good question. I've been through a lot of stuff in comic books. It's Action Lab aside, there's been a lot of other things. The comic book industry is essentially an industry that until recently has been rather small. You know what I mean? I mean, as far as like when you look at the rest of the entertainment world, right? So, I mean, there's a lot of things in it that will fall through the cracks. You know what I mean? Even for a person that's worked for hire, if they, like I was doing work for hire, work for other people and things like that. So there's a lot of times you'll do work and you wouldn't get paid for it. You know what I mean? Or you would do, and this happens with big companies. Sometimes, you do something, you wouldn't get paid for it, or you'll do, a story and the story never comes out, With this, it has renewed my interest in being able to continue to go with Action Lab to continue to pursue publishing my own way. And the reason why is just because, with my book, it's not really any of the books that I've done, it's never really been about the monetary value of the book. It's been more about the satisfaction of me doing the book for one, and then seeing other people respond to that. So for Shinobi Ninja Princess, it's always been about, kids. I used to go into comic book stores, and when the books were there, see kids be able to say, "Oh, look, that's me. I'm that ninja. I'm that ninja." You know what I mean? That's my ninja right there. And I used to be like, wow, that's the thing that I liked. My son is actually one of the characters in the book, So that is what the book means to me. So because of that, no, I won't give up doing comics because somebody else chose to take advantage of that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna leave my dream behind because somebody else decided they want to try and yank the rug out from under me. That's not gonna happen.
Glad to hear that.
What it does do though is reinvigorate me to be able to help other people not fall into that same same trap, as well as know what I'm doing when I'm going forward, and only be around the people who have my best interests at heart, and make sure I'm the leader of that destiny, as opposed to letting somebody else just say, hey, we got you, and they don't.
It's a good point. I mean, hell, one last thing here. Considering that so many people have wound up saying after everything that's happened with Action Labs and it's Action Lab, I don't know why I keep pluralizing it, but with Action Lab, people have been saying that, I don't know, I don't want to create anymore. Perhaps this has just beaten me down so much, but to hear you say just the opposite, it wants to inspire you to create more, maybe not with Action Lab, maybe not with others. You've worked with other publishers in the past that will continue in the future. And really, when it comes to creators out there that are looking to publish outside of Kickstarters, getting hooked up with other companies, getting aware of what other companies' practices are is something that's very important. And you just don't know about it if you are just an artist, just a writer. You're the creative part. Someone comes up to you and says, hey, you want to put out a book through my company? I know what I'm doing.
Right.
Well, now we're here to try and help people figure out, this company might deal with these practices. This might deal with those practices. But at least here now people are aware of Action Lab. But Martheus, you work for other comic book companies. What are the differences that you've noticed?
Well, my difference, the differences is that most of the time I've worked for hire type of situation. So a lot of times it's been like, I'm the penciler or the artist. So I'll be doing pencils and inks, or something like that. So they would send me, the writer and I would be working more closely together. They would send me the pencils, the inks, and then we'd have an editor. The editor would actually be the one who I'm sending final stuff to. So I would send my final pencils, or my final artwork, whatever that is, to the editor. The editor would send it on to the next person. If there was anything, that was awry or amiss inside of my artwork or the writing or say the inker or something like that, then the editor will catch it, and that's where it stops. So the buck kind of stops with the editor. Once the editor has greenlit everything, that's when it goes to press, or it goes back to the company to go to press. So it's on that respect, there's a little bit more control in there. You know what I mean? I'm part of that creative system. On this though, when I'm doing I'm doing my own thing, right? So on this is different. I'm writing it and I'm drawing it, and we're working between me, my wife, and Kevin Williams, who is the editor on it. We're going back and forth working on this thing. Once we're finished with it, we're sending it to their editor, their graphic designer, to produce it. If they had any questions, they will contact us. That's the difference. The difference was that there wasn't at Action Lab, though, I will say that there wasn't a big editorial concern, So, for instance, like I was helping one of my friends do some work for Image, and there was an editorial person there that was like, that might not fly with the book. You need to change this page, that type of thing, right? There wasn't like that at Action Lab. To some folks, it can be freeing. To other people that can be like, a red flag. You know what I mean? If they're really not concerned with what actually goes into the book, more so. If they don't have any questions, as well, you kind of want somebody that's going to be able to sell the book as well. Like, so not just if you're going to the convention, you got to know what every one of the books are, you know what I mean? And or if you're going to sell the book at a convention, if you don't know what Shinobi Ninja Princess is about, you can't sell it. You can only put it out on a table and hope somebody catches the interest on that cover and picks it up and say, I want to get this, you know. But if there's no sales pitch for it. So that was another little red flag, you know what I mean? If there was plenty of times where I would be at a con and Action Lab would be at a con and Shinobi and the Princess wouldn't even be on a table. You know, and I was think that was another thing to me, because a lot of people would send me photos back and would say, hey, your book is not even here. And it's like at New York Comic-Con, there's like a wraparound Action Lab table and the book is not even there. And I'm thinking to myself, well, how the hell am I going to ever be able to make money back on advertising or production if I can't even sell the books from you guys? I'm doing most of the selling on my end, and those are books that I originally bought from you in the first place. So those are my differences that I've seen. You know what I mean? You just got to be careful. Nobody's going to be able to take care of your property like you, and to be on top of all that is forefront. Should be forefront.
I was going to highlight something, Ace, but it's a long time past that.
Oh, can I still address it?
Give me a second if I can find it. Oh, here you go.
Okay. Dragon Slayer, I'm wearing a mask because despite the fact that you are some 20-something-year-old high school dropout that lives in your mother's fucking musty basement, I'm wearing a mask because I don't want to smell your fucking old coming ball sweat. Wow. So suck my dick, bitch.
Wow. Well, Michael, thank you for appearing on the show tonight.
That was I think I hear my wife calling me.
We got some. We occasionally get some unpleasant and unsavory folks, incels and basement dwellers, typically. So Martheus, again, sounds like a very common story. And when you say that you worked for other places, work for hire, that's got a page rate, right? I mean,
that's a page rate. Like,
and essentially in this instance, there's no page rate involved. It's, we're gonna put the cash up front, and you're gonna cover it through the sales of the book, and then if you sell enough, then you'll get paid.
Right.
There you go.
And to like the the uninitiated, you know what I mean? That might sound good because you're thinking, if you look at the numbers that Shinobi Ninja Princess brought in on issue 1, right? You would think that there would be some money that would at least kick back to us a little bit out of that. But you never know because of, 1, the production costs, and then 2, the advertising that was said to be put into it, right? So you never know. So you're always going to be in that type of case. You're always going to be in a negative unless you have somebody that is like A1 bookkeeper. This is exactly how things are up to date and clear cut and on the case, and they're cutting checks every Friday or whatever. You know what I mean? Unless there's some kind of situation like that and somebody's working full time, just to do that, then you probably should just go the other way or self-publish yourself. Again, for me, I should have been more privy to that. But my thing as a creator was that I'm here at this place because, essentially I see my friends at this place and I know where their heart is. Again, I came into that situation by seeing those guys and saying, I know how hard they're working. I work that hard. We can do some things together. When they left and they started to leave, I was still there stuck. You know what I'm saying? So, you got to take that however you take it. But you know, and they, you know, like I said, those dudes, they were the backbone of the company. You know, they started it. They were the backbone of the company. When they got on down, that was pretty much it, you know. And that's when I found out I had to start dealing with other people involved and stuff, and those people involved didn't have my best interests in mind.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of want to wrap up here now. Counselor, for those hearing about you for the first time tonight, Mr. Michael Katz, what would be the most important thing that you would want to tell our audience?
Well, two things. First, reach out to me as soon as you can. You want to jump on board before the train leaves the station. And number two, the train ride's free. I'm doing this, pro bono. I'm not going to make a dime off of this, so it doesn't hurt you any to reach out and see whether I can do anything to help you specifically.
And right there underneath your face, people can see that your Twitter address is at StriderNolan13. That's StriderNolan 13 for those listening on a podcast. Otherwise, as we said earlier in the broadcast, that justice does favor the prompt. So make sure that you have emails ready. If you have your contract ready, make sure that's scanned in. So that way, when you reach out to Mr. Katz, that he could be of best service to you. And as he said before, this is free, it's pro bono, but we need to make sure that you act fast on this. Mm-hmm. Now, Martheus, I want to give you the last word here. Where can people find you? And I have your Twitter information, your Facebook, and also the website. Any upcoming appearances or anything you want to promote?
Well, I mean, if you're in the Memphis area, I'm going to be doing me and my wife and my friend Kevin. We're going to be doing a mural of some of our characters in Memphis. So that's in October. Then the next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be at Japan Fest. Memphis Japan Fest is all things celebrating all things Japanese. So and Japanese culture. So we're going to be a part of the manga block because a lot of our illustrations are very anime manga based. So we're going to be doing that. And then, other than being online and things like that, I'm always on Facebook. I'm always on Twitter. And I'm always on Instagram. Oh, and we have a web, a YouTube show called Wade's World, where me, my son, and my wife, we do artwork, play video games together. We open up comics and open up toys together, and just talk geek culture amongst ourselves and our friends and stuff like that.
Excellent. So even a YouTube channel, make sure to sub him up. And everybody else, make sure to go and subscribe or follow both Martheus and Michael on the Twitter sphere because it's going to be worth it. There are stories that are coming up, and we will be following this long into the future until this is rectified. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on to the broadcast tonight. It has meant so much to so many people out there that have been wanting to know what has been going on with Action Lab.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
And Mr. Katz, more than anything, if you wind up hearing anything in the future, we will get you scheduled in. So let's keep in contact. Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Wade, look forward to seeing more of your books. And we're going to wind up showing some comic books now. So, gentlemen, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
All right. Take it easy.
Have a great night, guys.
Have a good night. Bye. All right. So who is ready to show some comic books?
I wasn't ready to show comics. I was ready to show titties,
But that is so very...
And what do you need?
Probably a good fuck.
Oh, you didn't chime in.
I didn't because I don't want to fuck Helen Mirren right now.
Oh, fair enough.
She disappointed me highly.
Yeah.
Oh no, what happened?
I saw that.
She is doing a show in which J.K. Rowling is going to profit from. And as we know, J.K. Rowling is a horrendous turf and a piece of shit, and we don't fuck with her.
So guess what, everybody? This will be the last time tonight that you will see this bumper.
And what do you need?
Probably a good fuck.
Oh, fuck you.
I don't see that being a permanent thing. You know, you don't give up your one and only forever over that.
No, Bree's my one and only forever. So
Fair. We can share.
no, I'll win. It's fine.
So it was kind of a big-ish week. I know, Ace, you got a few things in the mail, but this would be the time of our show that we kind of decide to kind of call it comic book therapy. And this is our session.
I'm going to get what I want.
Christ.
Comic books.
Oh my god.
Comic books.
Let's get some
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 Comic books.
Okay, so what'd y'all pick up this week? Or anything coming in the mail?
I got a bunch.
Oh, I
Let
bet
the
you
old
do.
man go first.
Oh,
Yeah, thank you.
that old. I mean, okay, maybe no, just, Rob.
Nope. Stop talking. Go to jail.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so I guess it's up to you. Miracle Man, take it away.
So the fun of Miracle Man, what Alan Moore did that was so brilliant, Michael Moran has grown up. And he's in his 40s, he's overweight, he's sad. There's something that he can't remember.
The only thing that's inaccurate there is that I'm sad. I am the happiest motherfucker on the face of the planet. I have some awesome comics to share with some great people. And there's a beautiful, beautiful woman who loves me. I'm a very happy man. I'm a very happy man. So let's start with the new stuff. What do you say? First up, a little Kickstarter. So happy
leave that up.
Fantastic. So happy to have this. Deadbeats, #2, London Calling from a Wave. Yep, a Wave Blue World just came in. It is absolutely gorgeous. Guys, it's going to be available. I think it was already in the Diamond Solicits. Your shop should have them. If they don't, you can order them. It's a great anthology. I haven't read everything yet, but you've got some fantastic creators in here. I highly recommend their books. Next, I went out of town and I visited a place. And in that place, guess what they had?
Penises.
Well, there were several of those, but there were also comics. And this particular location carried the Bad Idea books.
Oh, you got it.
So I got the aggressive version of Passive Aggressive. I got the lot #1 by Marguerite Bennett. I got Sleigh Bells. I got Christos Gage's Monster Kill Squad. And I got a copy of Tankers #2.
You just had to jump aboard because you knew Kirk wasn't going to be here tonight, did you?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. Well, I know is you didn't have any Bad Idea comics before, and now look at them all.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of them. I believe my friendly neighborhood Ace has a book or two for me as well. I think maybe. Hopefully, maybe. Then we got some books that I picked up. No, I don't think any of these came out this week. Well, here's the thing. I went to my shop. In the Northeast, comics are delayed. So I didn't get any new books. But these are ones I got last week. I got a buddy who does a shipment. And, I'll throw him some order stuff sometimes. so you can get covers and they can get discounts if him and his little group there don't quite do it. So I did pick up a couple last month. Here's Army of Darkness, 1979. That's that first issue. Dope ass cover. Dope ass Sudan cover. Here's Basilisk number 4. Clans of Bellari number 3. Oh, that was Blacksmith. Here's Lucky Devil number 2. A lot of second issues. Mom number 2. Nobody's Child number 1 from Behemoth. This was actually really, I didn't know what to expect from it. That was really good. From our friends at Ahoy, Mark Russell, Richard Pace, Second Coming, Only Begotten Son. This is supposed to be Superman, and of course, in this issue, obviously that's Jesus. I don't know if you're familiar. He was this guy.
I heard of him.
Yeah, he wasn't real well known. True story. He had some superpowers. He could walk apparently on water, and conjure up food out of nothing, which was rather mad. But this guy here, he's supposed to be Superman. So here's his arch nemesis, which is basically Lex Luthor in the green and purple armor. Pretty dope, right? That's number 4 there. Here's number 5. And here is Strange Attractors number 4. Strange Attractors 2 is like the big one, but I was like, let me see what this book's about, and I grabbed number 4 here. I liked it. I'm gonna say I liked it. There's that Vampyverse number 1, Adam Hughes cover. Hughes. Jesus, Jackhammer. Good Lord. Here is, I picked this up when I was at the shop this weekend.
Oh, hold on a second, everyone. Congratulations, everybody, on the 4 downvotes tonight. Thanks for the views.
Oh, I love it when you chuds come and downvote us. How about this? Eat my ass. Here's Eve number 5. Just look at these gorgeous fucking covers on Eve. I have a comment, but we already were pretty raw. Geiger number 6. That's the end of the opening story arc there. Last Flight Out number 1. Oh, I found this, and I was so stoked. This is from Avatar. It's Night of the Living Dead Aftermath. This is an older series, but they've been doing this thing where they're finding books they have in the warehouse that were real limited covers. This was limited to, I think I don't think it says there, 250 covers. I got this for only $5.99.
Of course you did.
Seems like a waste of money.
Austin VIP.
About everyone.
That's let's be honest. That's what comics are. They're a waste of money, but we love them. Rabid World number 3. If you're buying comics and you think you're going to make money, you're going to be disappointed. Here's Stud number 1. If you're making or buying comics to make money, you're making a mistake. This is from Comics Experience. Guys, I don't know if you saw this. He kind of looks like He-Man, right? It is a fun story. The villains are weird. There's kind of a Tin Man and like a Sasquatch and like a weird little alien guy. He's wearing snake pants from a snake he killed himself. Listen, that's the Wicked Witch. Seriously, check this book out. If you see it, pick it up. I read it. I couldn't put it down. It's an extra size, double-sized issue. It was freaking phenomenal. All right? That's all I'm going to say. Freaking phenomenal. Now, would you all like to see some really cool back issues I picked up this weekend?
No, not particularly.
Okay, good. Because I'm going to make sure to draw this shit out just to infuriate the hell out of you.
It's fine. I'm going to be texting Reed anyway.
Oh, boy. So, somebody's trying to pick a fight. So, let's get into some good stuff here, huh? What do you say? Not that this wasn't good stuff, but we got some. I got a big pile. 2, 3, maybe 4 giant piles of comics I got this weekend. Here we have the second print of Animosity #1, another book by Marguerite Bennett. Highly recommend this series if you haven't read it.
It's a great story.
So good. So good. A little bit hard to find from Volume 2, Ant #4.
Okay, I don't know if any of y'all have been doing FOC, but I do it every single week, and I swear to Christ, Eric Larson's Ant #1 has been solicited every week for about 6 or 7 or 8 weeks now.
Yes, and you know what? That's par for the course. The character of Ant is cursed.
The
character's cursed, everybody. And maybe we can do a special on it sometime. But when I say that, I don't say that lightly. This character is cursed. Here we have from the very first story, Bomb Queen #3. These are tough to find. And you see that, mature readers? These are thong pants. I don't think I could add any more to that. The original Bomb Queen series was like nothing but like taboo sexual situations, raw language, and murder. That's basically all they were. From DDP, we have Barack the Barbarian #3, and you know who's riding that elephant, right? Yeah, there she is. Sarah Palin, ladies and gentlemen.
Boo.
Right. Well, she's a villain. And here you have Barack the Barbarian #4, and the villains here battling Dick Cheney and gorgeous George Bush Jr.
Bush did 9/11.
He is a war criminal. I got some dope ass Adam Hughes covers. And fuck, that jackhammer thing really fucked me up. Barbed Wire #1. Look at that cover. Ace. Hey, Eva. Do you see that? That is a beautiful woman kicking a dude right in the bejulies.
I don't like blondes.
Well, she's still beautiful.
Nah, she's ugly.
All right. Well, fair. Everybody's got wait, wasn't Helen Mirren blonde?
Not naturally.
Okay.
She doesn't count.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. And you know what? When it comes to infatuation, really, there are no rules.
True.
Here we have issue 5 of Barbed Wire.
She's so pretty. Wow.
Here's issue 6 of Barbed Wire, and here's my favorite one, the final issue.
She's so blonde and pretty. She looks like she could be on Fox News as a news model.
Barbed Wire #7.
Oh yeah,
that's a good cover. That's a good cover. Next up, we have something, and I try to get this creator. He's doing an omnibus on Kickstarter. Bill the Bull, I think it's still going on. Check it out. I tried to get him on the show, and unfortunately, we didn't get a line. He did respond to me, but I missed it for a while. We were already booked up, and his show is going to end in 8 days. His Kickstarter is going to end in 8 days. Hart Fisher is the guy's name, Hart D. Fisher, and he created this character as a black and white character called Bill the Bull. Now, Bill the Bull is old school schlock terror and action. Okay. There weren't a lot of appearances of Bill the Bull. All right. There's 4 issues, but there's a couple of notable things. First up, right here in Bill the Bull, 1 shot, 1 bourbon, 1 beer #1, you have John Cassidy, he of Planetary fame, his original first printed work. So if you're a fan of Cassidy's work, this is his very first pro work. Not a lot of these were printed. These were like Boneyard Press. So print runs in the like doubles of thousands. 1 shot, 1 bourbon, 1 beer #2. That's it. Those 4 issues comprise Bill the Bull's appearances. I think there was a couple of things like he was in backups and stuff, but that's the only individual issues he has. I'm not going to show this book because I bought this book to soak gators for money, and so I'm not going to show off this book here. Crimson Cougar #1 from Greater Mercury. I got this book out of the dollar bin, autographed by the creator, the artist. Greater Mercury was one of those companies that hired kids right out of high school. Actually, let me rephrase. They hired high school students. Literally. And when I say they, I mean the founder, Chris Silver. Silver Wolf was the first one. That one went out of business. He went bankrupt with it, and then he did Greater Mercury, and he really just did it to escape creditors, from what I understand.
Oh yeah, I'm still here, Elijah. What's up?
And hey, you say stuff like that again, Elijah, you're gonna get booted. So be nice. Be
Too
nice
late.
or somebody. Oh, well, there you go. DC Comics present. Boy, we're getting all the douchebags tonight, huh? Any of you douches hiding out? Just want to let you know from the bottom of my heart, suck it. DC Comics presents annual number 2. This is the first appearance of Superwoman. She had appeared before this, but in a novelization. The character was created by Elias S. Magan, DC creator of old. Did a lot of Superman stuff. Here we have Crow Razor number 1. This was a 4-issue mini. It was back in the 90s. Crow was, killer, a big, huge character. Of course, it's called Kill the Pain because, gothy. Razor was a character created by a really, we'll say, not somebody I'd recommend working with creator. Basically, it's all titties and ass and not very well done. Like, I like titties and ass. Y'all know I like titties and ass. Yeah, I like them a lot. On comics, in my hands, on my face, everywhere. I like them everywhere I can get them. The problem is that this is an individual who had a tendency to draw like kind of torture porn stuff. Night G. Thank you. I'm gonna keep doing my squats. G. But Razor is an enduring character, probably one of the more popular ones out of his entire stable. Here we have a series from Adam Warren. These are the 2 of the specials called Empowered. I love this fucking series. That's, I think, number 2. I think this one's number 6. And the cool thing about this series is the main character is this young woman. She's super powered because of the suit, but her suit's very flimsy. So invariably it gets destroyed in every single battle. But the reason I love this series is, number 1, she has serious body dysmorphia, and she really thinks she looks terrible. Now, obviously, she's drawn probably a little thicker than your average buxom blonde superheroine, but certainly not thick. But she has a case of body dysmorphia, and she thinks she just looks terrible. And this book really does do a lot to kind of focus on body positivity. And kind of working through, right? I know, Reed, tell me about it, babe. And it really does kind of work through it. Now, it's also a little titillating, of course, but there's a lot of queer romance in here. There's pan, there's gay, there's lesbian. I don't know if there's been a trans character, but it's a great series. It's fun. It's not one of those ones you got to take too seriously. But Adam Warren, just totally, this is his prime right here, man. This is this guy like really doing it, really killing it as a creator. Fantastic series. Hack Slash, got a whole bunch of it. Issue 3. This is the Image run. Issue 5. Oh wait, there's more. There is more. Where are you? The rest of Hack Slash? Oh, here we go. I found it. Here we have issue 6, issue 8, issue 10, issue 11. So much of it. I got these for $1.80 each. Issue 12. Issue 15's got a weird cover that I don't want to show on the internet.
Do it.
I don't want to.
Show
But
it.
just look
Issue
at
15.
Ace. Ace looks enthralled with all of those Hack Slash. They need all of them.
I think I have all of them.
Issue 20. Issue 21. The annual from 2010, which I thought that was a pretty cool cover. The first issue of Son of Sam Hain. Sam Hain or Sam Hine?
Samhain.
Samhain. It sounds more exotic. Then we got another Bomb Queen book. This is Bomb Queen Presents All Girl Comics number 1. And yes, it is all girls in this comic. Relevant to my interests.
Actually,
Hughes.
it's Samhain. I forgot. It's a whole other language thing. Yeah.
That's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
Thank you. So here we have Invisible Woman number 1, Adam Hughes cover. Invisible Woman number 3, Adam Hughes cover. And Invisible Woman number 5, Adam Hughes cover. I literally don't care what's in between the pages. I don't care.
Nobody else did.
You're right. Adam Hughes covers. Here we have Love Bunny and Mr. Hell number 1, Savage Love, which is a Savage Dragon crossover. And speaking of Savage Dragon, are we speaking of Savage Dragon?
No.
There's a companion. Savage Dragon Mars Attacks number 4. Here's Savage Dragon 87. I did good this weekend. 136, 146, 147, 156. I am about 75 issues away, guys. 243 from having a complete and total run, 244 of Savage Dragon.
I'm glad that some of us could have helped over here because I don't know what I would do with almost 300 issues of Savage Dragon.
I love it. I absolutely love the series. I won't lie. The first 60 or so issues, I am struggling getting through them because they're old school image, and that never spoke to me. But the character's really developed. Eric Larson's style has really developed. And, you know, he really is doing a modern Jack Kirby story. I mean, it's every element of every Jack Kirby story. You're right, Michael. I'm ashamed. It's every Jack Kirby story, all in one story. Here we have some more Eric Larson. That's Mighty Man number 1. That's the character introduced in Savage Dragon. Speaking of Savage Dragon, here we have 10th Muse number 5, Savage Dragon crossover. We had that creator on the show not too long ago. Person who created 10th Muse. One more thing of Savage Dragon. This is the first trade.
First print?
I don't know. Somebody gave it to me.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in the front page. Yeah, that would be the first print. Does it count backwards?
I don't see any count. No. I also see no indication of what printing it is. It just says printed in Canada. This might be a first print.
Why can't frickin' comic book companies, even Image, follow library rules?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a first print, guys. Next, I know I have a whole nother pile of comics. That's not right here. But next, hold on a second. I'm gonna wrap up here because I've been going a while. Tarot, Witch of the Black Rose, that's issue 29. I believe that's your first 3 little kittens. Or the 3 kittens. They're assassins with awfully large titties. Awfully large titties on these assassins. That is an autograph copy.
Right, I was going to say, careful what you say. Jim watches.
I love Tarot. I absolutely love Tarot. It's one of my favorite series. The currently, and Jim, if you do watch, I'm not bashing the book at all. Please get away from the full page. I like the sequential art style. I miss that. The splash pages are beautiful, but if a fan can implore you to go back to the older style, please. This fan implores you.
You want him to continue drawing the thing, right?
Oh yeah, I do.
Let him do what he wants to do.
I'll let him do what he wants to do. Jim, ignore me. Please continue. I'm going to keep buying Tarot. It doesn't matter. I also got two more copies of this cover. This is Perillo's first adult cover. Essentia number 5. That's the first printing where she's in the bikini. I also have the black and white second printing Virgin variant, but there are some chesticles on this. So I'm going to cover it like this. Not doing a good job. Fuck it. Those are cartoon titties, guys. They're a comic book. They're not real. So right there, this is the first adult cover by Perillo. All right, gang. So if you see one, grab it up. It's a good cover. 2 more books. Voltron number 10 from DDP. If you see a DDP book, hands down guaranteed there were very few printed. Okay, just the way it is. They didn't print a lot, and as the series went on, they really cratered. So pay attention to those. And my last book for the night, like I said, I had another pile, but I can't find them, and down goes half of the books. Good thing there.
That's why you don't have the first print
Eclipse books. That's right, guys. I leave the Eclipse books put away. Last but not least, this was my best pickup of the week. Captain Atom number 85.
Oh, yeah.
This is the first appearance of Punch and Julie. Third appearance. Sorry, go ahead.
Those were like big characters back when like Doomsday Clock was coming out.
So Punch and Julie were the basis for the mime and marionette. You know, the rules of the Watchmen universe, all the characters have to be based off a Charlton character. This is a Steve Ditko cover, which is why Punch's face looks horrible. Nightshade there
looks like Doctor Strange in the upper left corner.
Very much so. There you got Ted Cord down there. That's his third appearance as Blue Beetle. Now listen, this book's a little rough. I got a Ron Adams original here. But I got this bad boy for $15. I think it was an absolute steal. And you know, these, listen, I'm gonna be flat out. The Charlton characters, most of them are really shitty. They did not do a good job with them. And there's not a lot of superheroes, supervillains. Yes, I was going to say that, Pac. Thank you very much for reminding me. But Punch and Julie were pretty much the only villains that ever resonated with DC fans. And one of those reasons is because Ostrander's Suicide Squad run. They continued on in later Suicide Squad runs. I believe Punch is supposed to have died at one point. They're probably back alive. Who the fuck knows with this continuity? But, you know, they were the basis of the mime and marionette. Now, I'm not saying that this is a guarantee because it probably isn't. But something I have noticed with the Peacemaker series, they seem to want to include Charlton characters.
They do, and they're going to be appearing in the new Peacemaker series.
I don't know. Punch and Julie are?
No, just the Charlton characters.
Charlton characters,
trying to work in.
Right. They have Judo Masters already confirmed.
Yep.
So we're getting Judo Master and Peacemaker. Now, if we got Ted Cord, I'd probably die of a nerd heart attack. So, you know, I don't expect that to happen. But
if we get Ted Cord, you know, he's just going to be a businessman because they're going to be introducing a young kid that's going to be Latino because why put another white dude in a superhero?
Right. No, fair enough.
That's where we are.
Hopefully he could be a mentor, a retired acrobatic superhero, super scientist, whatever. I'm fine with that. I'd take it.
He was Blue Beetle once and not anymore. He's an older gentleman and now he's teaching Jamie.
Right. Jaime. So, and here's the thing, guys. Like I said, I doubt that these characters are going to show up, but let's say they do. This book is still real undervalued. Okay. I think high grade, you can probably pick it up for like $140, $150. Thank you very much, Pac. But I'm telling you right now, this one here is going to be simple. It's going to be easy. Hi, Comic Zombie, to get your hands on at this point, and I highly recommend it. If you can get it, it's going to be a good time to get it. I don't know if it's Charlton. Is it Charlton or Carlton? I thought it was Charlton.
I'm going to just start calling it Carlton now.
Yeah. Just so y'all know, it's Comico, not Comico. I know that for a fact. But after all said and done, that's it. That's all I've got. And thank you, everybody, for let me pontificate.
That's it? Everything?
No, I have another pile, but I'm not sure where I set them.
Well, while you're figuring that out, Ace, did you get anything in the mail?
Yeah, I got a couple things.
Ooh. Well, I won't show that intro now that we know what's going on in the world of fantastical beasts and movies I will probably not be seeing in a movie theater or on streaming.
Hi. So I think it was last week.
Uh-oh.
Was what? What's that? Oh.
What? Oh no, I just froze on me for a second.
Oh, okay. Last week was the Maria Louvet week. So of course, every cover possible.
Mario Lovett.
Maria Louvet.
Maria Louvet.
Yes.
It's pronounced Lou. I'll punch you in the fucking face, Vey. Oh, I wanted that cover so badly.
Yeah.
I gotta go see if I can hunt it down.
You can buy a bundle of them from Stadium Comics.
Oh.
And then I didn't pick up anything this week, but this weekend I got some good DC deals because it was Batman Day, whoever the fuck that dude is.
I believe he dresses up like a cat and commits felonies.
Isn't he just some rich cis white man that beats up the mentally disabled and poor?
So he's a cop?
Oh yeah, probably.
So I got Wonder Woman. Batwoman.
Was that a yawn?
Yeah.
You don't yawn. Who are you? You're not Ace.
I'm sleepy. I think I've slept like 12 hours in the past 2 weeks.
That's a lot of sleep for you. That's
I'm
really.
doing
like,
really
let me
well
rest.
right now.
You're awesome. No, really, you are awesome.
Yeah, sure. I don't feel like talking, so enjoy my silence.
Instead, you're going to be serenaded by the lovely Miracle Man as he sings Ace of Base.
Please don't. I got,
Okay, he's in the bathroom.
He's taking a shit.
It's wet works to Vampirella, huh?
Yeah. I've been liking this Harris comic run, so I've been trying to like get some of the other stuff. There we go. I like that cover. Yeah. Then some more Wonder Woman. Now, guys, this comic, I went to my shop and I looked through the bands and blah, 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 blah. A Miracle Band. Nah. There we go. I give it shine. Just like I do with everything else in my life. I like that cover a lot. It made me happy. And that one. I think that's it. Maybe. Yeah.
Even Ava agrees. Ace is the bestest.
I don't think I am.
I think so. Because you know who's the worstest?
Not you.
Me.
Nope.
So since we're waiting on Miracle Man to get back with some comics,
I got him.
I'm not going to show any comics.
I did get some more. I forgot where they were, but then I realized, you know what? They're right there. Violator #1. That's an Alan Moore joint. You know what? This is the worst Terminator, and that's hard to say because there were so many bad Terminators, which means there probably aren't a lot of these because why the fuck would there be? But Terminator 3, Before the Rise, that's a comic book tie-in. It's from Beckett Publishing. That's issue 2. Here's issue 4. This is actually Eyes of the Rise, so it kind of builds up to it. I can't imagine there's a lot of these out there. Because fucking why? Speaking of horrible comics, here we got Trouble #1. And listen, I bought this book, and as soon as I posted it on Twitter, everybody was like, you overpaid. I paid I think I paid $1. You got ripped off. Listen, I get that it's a bad comic. That's why I want it. I want it because it's a bad comic. If you can't love bad comics, do you really love comics?
No.
Exactly. Not only that, but this has Dodson art. Anything is worth $1 if the Dodsons are involved. Literally anything. So if you come across them, buy them. Here we got a couple of Powers books. There were more, but I had to winnow down. I bought a couple of books. Powers #26 and Ace. I bought this cover thinking of you. #34.
Why would you think of me? Oh, okay. I see now.
Yes, punching that Nazi.
I punched a Nazi.
Yeah, I like seeing Nazis cry. Here we have a whole bunch of Voltron. I showed you that number. I think I showed you one before. Here we have from Image. There's issue 0. For you whippersnappers who don't know what Voltron is, here's issue 1. Voltron is a giant mech that is made of 5 different mechs. Here's issue 2 that are basically, I think, panthers. I don't know, some kind of big cat. Here's issue 3. And, they got little people pilots in them. And then the people all join together. Here's issue 4 and become a giant mech. And here's issue 5.
So it's just Power Rangers with cats?
But better, because it was first. And I believe many of the mech pilots are kids. So, as a kid, you're watching this. Well, maybe not kids, but younger. So as a kid, you're watching this and you can kind of identify with them. And then after, what happened was this license was owned by one of the internal studios of Image, or they had the license, and they split off and they became DDP. Now, tonight we talked about Action Lab and their poor business practices. Unfortunately, DDP in its original incarnation did not have the greatest business practices.
Can I tell you something that's annoying and nerdy?
Sure.
Power Rangers actually came out first.
Wow.
It was based on a series that came out in 1981, and Americans didn't know about Power Rangers till later. And Voltron was just first in America, but not in existence.
It was the first in my heart. Here we have Voltron number 2. So DDP, Voltron number 3, did a lot of licensed books. Problem is, Voltron number 4, they didn't pay their creators. Voltron number 5, they had Jericho, which was this dope-ass apocalyptic story. Voltron number 6, that was continued from a television show. Voltron number 7.
The guys without belly buttons, right?
No, Jericho was the one with Skeet Ulrich, where nuclear weapons were set off in America, and they're all kind of isolated, and they lived in a small town in Kansas that had a salt mine, so it was perfectly situated.
I know what you're talking about. For some reason, I always mistook that with the alien that had no belly.
Oh yeah, different show. Here's Voltron number 8. Did I show you Voltron number 10? I did. I showed you Voltron number 10 already. Here's Motor Girl number 1 from Terry Moore. Here is, and you know what? I'm so sad our man Kirk is not here. But for you, Comics on the Mind, here's The Thing number 24. And I didn't order off a Scout because they had an ad and they said, hey, look at this special cover just went on sale. And I looked, I was like, yeah, that's cool, but I don't know if I really love it. And then I scrolled slightly and I saw some stuff I knew I'd love. Murder Hobo, all in at the Dragon Shaft. Here's Murder Hobo, Broken, Beaten, and Buggered, number 1, second print. And the second issue to the Chaotic Neutral. I just want to let you know there is drugs and sex in every one of these issues. They are not for kids. But here's the reason that I decided to do an order. I don't care what this book is about. It's called White Ash Presents Galarian number 1. It was a web store exclusive for Scout. A little pricey. It was a $20 book. But, again, I do not care at all what this story is about. Pure cover buy. And how do you not buy that once you see it? Not only is it a beautiful woman with a sword, but it turns out she's also an elf.
And covered in blood.
I wouldn't buy that.
Right.
Blonde.
I'm just saying, would smash.
No, I wouldn't smash because elves are supposed to be symbolic of white supremacists.
Ooh.
No hate smash even?
No.
All right, fair. And that's it for the night.
I mean, to be fair, I would not even be able to hate smash Kellyanne Conway, so I understand that.
Fair.
But, blonde. Can't do blonde. I don't know what. So should I show books now or something?
Do it.
Yeah, do it.
I might as well. So I got a bunch of crap behind me. Marvel, DC, and Image. So let's start with the Image stuff. I have read nothing tonight because how often do I ever get a chance to do that before airtime? Never. So here is Chew issue number 8. This continues off from last issue. This is Tony Chew's little sister. She's a criminal. It's awesome. So here is King Spawn issue 2. I only picked up the one cover, but for some reason on FOC, I ordered every one of the covers for issue 3 because they all look freaking amazing. Am I reading King Spawn? No. Do I read any Spawn? No. Do I have almost every issue? Sadly, and I don't know why. This I'm looking forward to reading. He Who Fights with Monsters. It's by the artist of Something Is Killing the Children, which I just procured myself a copy of issues 1, 2, 3, and 5. I'm going to need a 4 and 6 through 18. Pick those up in the next few weeks. This is a Nazi cover, but it is in relation to that certain Fantastic Four cover. It's He Who Fights with Monsters, the variant cover. Do you need a copy, Ace?
No, I'm fine.
Can set on fire, maybe?
No, I'm fine.
Oh, and I absolutely agree, Ava. Spawn's kind of dumb, but people like it, and one day perhaps I'll be able to trade it away for something, I actually want, which will be like the books in my Marvel file there. Speaking of things I don't necessarily want, but I'm getting every issue somehow, Norse Mythology issue 4. This is part 2 in the series. Getting every issue, might as well get it. So it's Gaiman. That's why. Only reason, Gaiman. So here is Once and Future issue number 20. It is not the last issue. I don't know what it is about people thinking it might have been issue 20 that'd be the last. No. I've even been hearing Something Is Killing the Children issue 20 is going to end at issue 20 and they're going to pick it up with a new issue number 1. I don't know. You tell me. Hey, see
People just don't understand the difference between the end of an arc and the end of a series. That's the problem.
I don't know if they're ending the arc or is there's going to be an issue 21.
Yeah.
So here is Red Room issue number 1. It's the second print. It's all black and white. It's pretty freaking cool. And Miracle Man, can't read it because it's just a little dark. No, it's violent as fuck. So here is Stillwater issue number 10. Chip Zdarsky. Now we're getting to see the kids that were, well, they're not all right. The kids are kind of grown up in children bodies. It's horrifying. It's kind of like Interview with a Vampire with Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Here's issue 3 of Siphon. This is paramedic that has some cool abilities that government types want. Good series, 3 issues long. Sure, I'll pick it up. Here's Vinyl about a serial killer going to rescue his best friend that hates him. And that best friend is also a FBI agent. Oops. Don't always pick your friends very well. Here's issue 4 of Last Ronin. I can't believe this actually came out. And much like every issue that I picked up of Last Ronin, it's still not bagged or boarded because there's no bag or board that actually fits this damn thing. This is the size of a regular comic. This is Last Ronin. Well, why are you doing this to IDW? Perhaps once you switch out from Diamond to Penguin, maybe you can make all your comics, the same size. That'd be nice. Thank you. Please. All right. So here's the DC books. Picked up Aquaman, The Becoming, issue number 1. This is the B cover. Wound up picking up Batman, issue 113, B cover. This is first Peacemaker 1 or Peacemaker X or Peacemaker character that we'll forget ever existed a year from now, especially when Tinian goes to Substack. Here is Batman the Detective by Tom Taylor. Well, since Tom Taylor's sticking around, I'm going to be wanting to stick around this story. Here is this really kick-ass cover of the Gray Ghost, even though I still want the cover A, but the cover A wasn't available today. But it's Batman The Adventure Continues, B cover, Gray Ghost. Here's Batman Secret Files, Miracle Molly, issue number 1. Black covers always like them because they're hard to keep in nice condition, just like the new issue of Catwoman.
That's pretty.
The subsequent issue that comes out after is going to look kind of like this, but with a mask and prettier and more bosomy. Yeah, cover better than this. This is a pretty awesome cover. This might be my cover of the week. Here is Flash 774. I guess we're going to be having another milestone with 775 next issue. Let me see about the... Oh, yeah. I still need more boards for my Last Ronin copies. If you could recommend to me, what are you using for your copy of Last Ronin? I would love to know what I should wind up sticking in there. And C. Woodard says, as long as Tinian and Image like money, there will probably be 20 more issues of Something is Killing the Children. I'm pretty sure he'll be continuing on with Something is Killing the Children from Image because it's creator owned, as his. Why not, right? But Image, DC stuff, they're probably swearing off on because why make other people money when you can make yourself money and retain the rights? I don't know. This came out last week. This is Infinite Frontier number 6. This is the Dark Side cover.
Great final issue.
Is it final or is it they're going to be in issue 7? I thought there was a solicitation.
That's it. But they're going to be doing a Justice League Incarnate, which is going to have the Multiverse Justice League first shown in Multiversity that we've seen teased here and there a couple of times. But Captain Carrot will indeed be a main character.
I'm sold on that. And Captain Carrot's one of your favorites, so I already know you're sold on that. So Steve Woodard says, I cut magazine side boards to fit the Last Ronin format and just fold the magazine bag to fit. If it works, it works. I'm willing to give it a try because they're all just sort of sticking out in the box up here. And for me, being as anal retentive as I am about my comics, that ain't cool to me. What is cool to me is Redondo's art and Tom Taylor's writing on Nightwing. This is some of the best Nightwing storytelling that I have seen in years, and it's Oracle in every issue. And I don't mean like Batgirl, I mean Oracle. Barbara Gordon as Oracle. It's awesome. And Ace and I, we've been getting on a huge kick lately with our Babs Gordon, so now I have to go look for all this old stuff that came out years ago. So here is Shazam issue number 3 of 4. And I guess this is just another crossover with Teen Titans Academy, which is crossing over with Suicide Academy.
Squad.
Just wants to buy everything. There's Supergirl issue number 4, the B cover.
Good cover on that.
Love this cover. It's very anime-ish. I dig it. I'm into anime.
The interior art is more like cover A. The cover A is the interior art, and it's I like it, but I just couldn't get sucked into the story. I read that first issue and I was like, it's good, but it's just not.
It's Tom King. It's one of those. It's hard to read Tom King when he does maxi series type format. And I don't mean his monthlies, just his maxi series, because he plots that out very, very methodically. And to read it month to month, you're going to lose some nuance from what's going on. Here, even Ava says, Tom Taylor's the man.
Tom Taylor's the man.
Nightwing is one of the best reads of the year. Absolutely agree. Speaking of good reads, does anyone know if E from Boom Studios ended with 5? Okay, it did.
Yeah,
5 there's going to be more, but not.
Great story. Came to a good ending. So I mean, I imagine they could give us more in the world, but
would you want more, or are you making more just because you want that?
Right.
Back?
Right.
Like Dragon Ball Z or Bleach.
Right.
Or Naruto, or most shonen manga. Period.
Exactly. Yeah. Tell a good story. Move on. Tell us another good story.
Yeah, speaking of good series that continued on, didn't have to. Issue number 7 of Alien starts a new arc in this issue. So it's Philip Kennedy Johnson. He's been doing a bang-up job so far. I'm digging it. It's Aliens without Ripley.
Yeah.
Come on. Here's the second print. It's not the first cover appearance because that happened in the very next issue that went on sale the prior week. So here is the second print of Winter She-Hulk. Love the storyline, loving the way She-Hulk looks. Here is issue 4 of United States of Captain America. That'll just go filed in the rest of my Captain Americas. I'm not going to put it all the way at the end with like my Young Avengers because that makes no sense. Here's Defenders issue number 1, second print. This is the first cover appearance of Omnimax.
Nice.
It's Galactus's mom. Mommy.
Omnimax.
Doctor Strange, The Death of, along with cover B. This one is going to be going to Lady Fantastic because she is still out of town. We are looking forward to her return back into town next Friday. So until then, everybody in the chat throw in a F for Lady Fantastic and show support. Here's I'm giving to Lady Fantastic because I didn't get cover A. They didn't get cover A because they were all damaged. So here's the cover B that's going to be going into her pile. This is one of the Miles Morales covers. Now here we get Gamma Flesh number 4. One more issue to come out, and I think that'll be coming out just after the final issue of Immortal Hulk 50. So here's the final issue of not Guardians of the Galaxy, but the final issue of the Last Annihilation storyline that's been running through like so damn many of these titles. Now, I got 2 copies of this. One's already in her pile. This is the second print of Miles Morales Spider-Man 29. This is the first appearance of his new costume. It's not my favorite looking, but I'm sure he'll be back into his black and red soon enough. I mean, this just looks like he's in, I don't know, like he's going to go for a jog. Not a critique on fashion. It's not like I work in fashion. Oh, wait, yeah, I did. Here's Moon Knight issue 3. This is probably going to be the winner of this week. This is the first full appearance and cover appearance of Hunter's Moon. This is pretty much sold out everywhere. I picked up 1 copy for myself, the cover B for Lady Fantastic. That's in her pile already. So let's see what else I got here. So now I got a whole lot of Ms. Marvel because I have like the main issues, the first issue, all the appearances of Mystique, 0 of any of the others. So I rectified that today. Here is issue 3. I'm still going to need an issue 2 now of Ms. Marvel. Issue 4. And these were all picked up from Miami Fresh Comics, and I'll throw up the link in the chat here. So Miami Fresh Comics, that is where I get all my comics, and he does wind up doing a claim sale auction every Thursday. He says 7:30, but in all reality, he starts late. So we say about 8:30. Check him out over at Miami Fresh Comics over on Instagram. So these are some of the books that I picked up from him today. Here's issue number 6 of Ms. Marvel. And then we skip way far because here's issue 19. Really going to need that issue 20 because that's the first appearance of her black bathing suit.
Yeah.
This one. And this is the final issue of Ms. Marvel because after this, they were going to introduce Rogue in Ms. Marvel, but it got canceled. So instead, you had to jump on over to an issue of Marvel Superheroes to get the backup storyline that appeared like deep in that book to get the true chronological first appearance of Rogue. Now, here is the second print of Spirits of Vengeance, the Ghost Rider. We got the new Ghost Rider here. This is the black and white. Coming up to the last couple, here is the always unfortunate, because there's so goddamn many of them, the X titles. I'm done with X shit. But here is Onslaught Revelation. I guess this was supposed to cross over after all the stuff that was going on with, I guess, Way of X, because they were showing all this Onslaught there. Here's X Corp issue number... I really do have to look at this point. Issue 5, I haven't even read past issue 1 because, again, there's too much X-Men. And after Hickman said, I'm done, even though I only got to phase 1 out of the 3 that I had planned, everybody else wasn't on board. So, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm out. Bye! But I have like a box and a half, long box of X-Men. X-Men number 3, not written by Hickman, written by Jerry Dugan, which I'm sure will be good, but it's not Hickman. And that's that. Those are all the comics that I picked up this week. So otherwise, anything that y'all want to advertise? I know that Ace, there was a Brags and Boards episode that wound up needing to be postponed. Are you going to wind up doing that again this week, next week, anytime soon?
Next week, because we're just going to stay on schedule. Yay.
So you're going to pretend that volume didn't happen?
No, we're just going to pick up. We're going to pick up there. Don't want to skip anything.
That works.
Yeah.
All right. And Miracle Man, do you wind up having anything going on over in the Twitter sphere, or perhaps any appearances you have coming up?
He's pooping.
Any appearances coming up that don't require you to be sitting on a toilet? So Miracle Man can be found on the Twitter sphere at Komoda1977. Otherwise, he will be making a very special appearance at a bathroom near you. So thank you for watching, everybody. My name is Rob Wurst. You can usually find me on Twitter. I'm haunting around there every now and then. I'm on Twitter at Rob Wurst. Just don't bother me on Instagram because I basically quit for all of 2021, and it proves that I can not only just overcome some alcoholism, but social media addiction too. So otherwise, next week we'll be back on at our regular time. Our special guest should be, and I believe it's Tyler Chin Tanner. That'll be episode 111 for Not Near Mint. But just remember, when you're watching a show like this and you wind up missing it, there could be things that could go wrong in your life. And that's why you wind up watching Not Near Mint, because
you're driving along, and all of a sudden the kids are yelling from the back seat, I gotta go to the bathroom, Daddy. Not now, damn it. Truck tire. I can't stop. Help! There's a cliff. And your family's screaming, oh my God, we're burning alive. No, I can't feel my legs. In comes a meat wagon. Woo, woo, woo. And the medic gets out and says, oh my God. New guy's in the corner puking his guts out. All because
you didn't watch the Not Near Mint show. So remember, tune in next Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And as I always close out at the end of the show, Black Lives Matter, especially the Haitian ones right now that are collected along the border over there in Texas. They're real human beings and they need help just as well. Trans rights, because if not now, when the hell is it ever going to happen? And lastly, I guess maybe Helen fucking Mirren or Helen. Fuck, Mirren? That's been our show. Thank you so very much for the night, and we'll see you next time. I love you all. Bye. Don't die.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. If you want to see this episode again, along with a catalog of back episodes and issues, surf on over to Not Near Mint on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Rob Wurst, Lady Fantastic, Miracle Man, Comics on the Mind, Ace, and Whack Comics back next week. New Comic Book Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Not Near Mint. And remember,